that shirt. Cool. All right, show me what's up. Show me this track.
All right, welcome to Hangar 5. This is our collective outlet for all the cool stuff we're doing. Whether it's BMX, competitive dance, shooting sports, music and media production, this is where we're putting it all out. Today, I got Eddie, E.T., and Joseph Jett here to talk with me about our recent trip down to a Florida State Championship qualifier for BMX at Sarasota Sarasota BMX Supercross track. Guys, tell me what you guys thought about this Supercross track. It was much bigger and different than what we're used to, and very, very unique experience. Oh, and also check these sweet hats out. Hangar 5, baby. Yeah. All right.
So I thought it was really neat how it was like they had the normal pro set split, but then on the third straight, it also split into a taller and shorter pump section kind of thing.
Yeah. Did you rip both of them? Which one did you like?
I liked the right one more because it felt more like the home track pump section.
A little bit smaller.
Yeah.
The tall one was tough if you were not having a lot of speed and not ready to really pick the bike up and throw it over the hills. Yeah. Joey, man, what'd you like?
The starting hill was huge, and it gave you a big challenge down the first straightaway when it was really fast.
Yeah, really tall. It's like at least 5,000 feet tall. Yeah, pretty daunting if you've never been on a track like this to see that huge starting gate and go up there for the first time. But it had like kind of a small first jump, so you could really rip down the hill, really get a ton of speed, soak it up, and really keep ripping on through. It was actually like the first track I was able to get my bike faster than I could keep pedaling it. So, gearing changes coming. But here we go. We got some pros ripping. Look how fast these guys' feet are moving. That's something we're working on right now, is trying to get up our foot speed. And, that kind of leads us into a good topic right now that I wanted to get to, which is what makes a novice, intermediate, and an expert? What are the differences? And there's so much, right? Like the bulk movements that you learn as a novice versus the fine movements and refinement that you get getting up to being an expert level. At least from my perspective, that's what I see. But I think I've kind of distilled it down to a couple of things that we're focusing on, which are things like, foot speed and stuff. That's still maybe a bit of those bulk movements, but pumping, manualing, and jumping. I see a lot of those where, as a novice, you're learning to just pump your way across the track. You're learning to soak up the jumps and just get across everything as smoothly as possible. Whereas, I see a lot of the intermediate kids starting to do things like manualing and whatnot across the jump, kind of a hybrid between throwing the bike up a little bit, but keeping the rear wheel down and going across. And then, of course, the expert kids, they can do all of it, whatever's working best and safest for them at the moment, but they also can just totally air it. So how about you, Jet? Tell me, what do you think about advancing your technique? Because you're about to jump to intermediate. You're 8 wins in, and we're having to hold you back by keeping you on a cruiser right now just so we can finish out this state race as novice. Tell me what you think.
When I become an intermediate, I want to be able to air things like how I just watched one of these pros just air the entire triple right there.
Yeah, very cool. One, I think you got to baby step it up first, man. Get them manuals down first. And it's when you go into a manual, do you feel like you're jumping a little bit and then kicking the rear wheel down? That's what it feels like to me.
It is kind of like that.
Instead of just totally soaking it up.
In jumping, you literally just have to do that, but just jump more and then kick your wheel down but not touch the ground yet.
BMX friends. These are some of our earlier friends from our home track at High Springs. They kind of helped us ease into the state race way of doing things, camping and everything. Thanks, guys. All right. Oh, and this video is a little bit different. I don't have really any point of view footage because you'll see right here, this was right at the start of practice, and my camera's gone. So I didn't have a camera to run around the track because I tried a different setup, and it obviously did not work and ruined my case and everything. This race, this is some of the pros. I think it was vet pros. And there is a gnarly crash in this race, which brings me to another thing that's really important as we advance is fitness. You really have to have good fitness. You got to be flexible. You got to have the strength in your tendons and whatnot to be able to stand up to crashes and things because they're going to happen. Check this out. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, he was flying, dude. And I'm not sure how exactly he got off soaking up that first jump of that little triple there and just ate it into it and got ragdolled across it, which, man, props to him. He hopped right off and rode off the track. Unbelievable for that gnarly of a crash, for him to have the strength and flexibility and everything to handle that. Here's a slow-mo of it.
he like flipped over the bars.
Yep.
The bike went over him and then flipped through the air.
Well, the way he rolled into that last hill of that triple, it's amazing he didn't break a collarbone, but also I think that roll is part of what saved him, is he kept kind of flowing with it and being easy through the crash. You got to not try and fight it. I think a lot of, looking into what breaks collarbones and whatnot, it seems to me, and I'm finding that a lot of it is bracing, trying to catch yourselves on your arm, you impact at your hand, the energy transfers up to your collarbone, and snap, because it does not take much to break one. All right, here's Eddie. Let's see, this was your second qualifying race on day 2 on Sunday. Didn't make it to mains. That's all right. You're still learning and getting better. You can kind of see. Yeah, and it's tough because you're at that speed and pace and learning right now where you need to be getting into pumping. But if you don't really have the speed to be pumping, you got to be pedaling in places you really should be pumping, and it's really tough to figure that out. You got to get your speed on that start. You got to get your speed in the turns, and then you got to pump down the straights and pedal where you can, especially if you're not ripping it real fast. I think, too, V'ing off the corners. And by that I mean coming in low on your entry, especially on these huge turns with all this space at this track. If you came in real low, ran it up a bit, cut real hard, and just charge out is a really good way to get through it. All right, here's a Jets race. He does okay. I think what'd you end up finishing, Joey?
6th.
6, yeah, not amazing, and that's okay. This is why we're kind of keeping you a little bit slowed down at the locals to keep you in novice till the end of this season. And there's places, a lot of it could be gained in turns. It's tough too, because as a novice, you're really learning to have the confidence to charge into those turns with everybody and to get close to everybody. It's really easy to want to stay back. Actually, that was part of why I held back a little bit in my race on Sunday, because I ran off the track on Saturday. It was good racing. Dude didn't even know I was there. We both came in tight, pushing it into turn 1, but it ruined my race. I ended up finishing 6th for the day. So I kind of held back a little bit, ran cleaner lines with less interference from other people, and it's tough to have that confidence to go bar to bar with fast guys. So go pump, Joey. I think you lost some of your fundamentals too. You're usually better with pumping and whatnot than what I've seen in that video. And here we go. I'm in the kind of gray and black shirt, 3rd, 4th right now. Kind of a crummy line through that turn. Should have charged out harder. And still picked up the position though. Not bad. I wish we could see this turn because I think I did all right, but I definitely ran it wide because I was going for that further out segment of the kind of pump section here. Kind of messed it up there, catching some air at the wrong time.
And
But
you
look
still
here,
ended up
cutting
with
in
3rd.
fairly tight, and I kept it a little bit low because I knew there was a guy outside of me, which that's that confidence thing. All right, guys, we got to get out of here. We got to get to some Easter racing here at our local track in High Springs. Thanks for hanging with us here at Hangar 5. From Jet and ET.
Fly fast.
And be out of this world.